The U.S. Treasury imposes sanctions on Pastor Apollo Kibuloy over alleged human rights abuse. Some parts of Catanduanes are now under signal number 1 due to tropical depression Rosal. And the UAAP Season 85 is now staging the much-awaited cheer dance competition at the Mall of Asia Arena. Fast, focused, and fearless. Here's a roundup of stories we're watching now. I'm Riza Diaz. We begin tonight's newscast with tropical depression Rosal maintaining strength as it moves over the Philippine Sea. Pag-asa last spotted its center some 285 kilometers east of Infanta, Quezon. Rosal is packing up wind speeds of up to 45 kilometers per hour and gustiness of up to 55 kilometers per hour. The tropical depression may intensify into a tropical storm in the next 24 hours, but it is seen to weaken by Monday due to its interaction with the northeast monsoon or Amihan. For now, signal number 1 is up over the northern portion of Catanduanes, where strong winds are expected. The Bicol region and Quezon may experience heavy to intense rainfall. The Social Welfare Department gears up for the possible impact of Tropical Depression Rosal. DSWD Chief Erwin Tulfo met with the agency's regional directors in an online meeting. He asked each of them about the supplies needed in their respective jurisdictions. Tulfo said 500,000 food packs and at least 300 million pesos worth of funds are on standby. The secretary also called on residents living in low-lying areas to evacuate.
Kung kayo ho ay malalapit po, sabi nga po ng Pag-asa, pag malapit to kayo sa mga ilog, sa mga sapa, baka tumaaso dyan, at saka low-lying areas, mga binabaho talaga kayo. Kung po pwede ho, lumipat ho muna kayo ngayong araw sa mga evacuation center, o di ho kaya pumunta muna kayo sa mga kamag-anak na medyo sa mga matataas na lugar.
In other news, the U.S. Treasury Department has frozen the assets of self-appointed Son of God, Pastor Apollo Kibuloy. In addition to freezing his U.S. assets, Americans and U.S. entities are also barred from transacting with Kibuloy. In a press conference aired on SMNI, the pastor's camp said nothing can be done legally over these sanctions. They also said that witnesses who can absolve Kibuloy could be arrested if they step inside the United States. Kibuloy is in the U.S. FBI's most wanted list and was indicted last year for alleged sex trafficking. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. More and more people are flocking to Christmas shopping hotspots ahead of the holidays. Chase Cosico with a report.
More than 2 weeks before Christmas, shoppers continue to flock over at Manila's famous shopping haven, Divisoria. Some even traveled all the way from provinces to buy gifts for their loved ones. But with the rising cost of basic commodities, shoppers like Olive had to downsize their budget.
Mas kaunti po yung nabili namin ngayon kumpara po nung nakaraan. Siyempre po, kailangan pa po kasi pumupunta po yung mga inaanak. Tsaka yung mga apo, pumupunta pa po sila. Siyempre, nakakaano naman po na hindi ka magbigay kahit nahihirapan po. Ano na po, tradisyon na po ng Pasko natin yan.
The same goes for Virgil, who adjusted his budget to 5,000 from last year's 7,000 pesos.
Mura po kasi dito ang bilihin, kaya dito kami sa Divisoria, kahit medyo malayo. Kasi marami po kasing bibigyan, mag-anak mga pamangkin. Minsan lang po sa isang taon yan, kaya kailangan pong bumili pang regalo.
Vendors said prices of Christmas finds at Divisoria remain stable. Items like toys, clothes, and slippers can be bought from 35 up to 150 pesos depending on the item.
Pwede naman po tumawad.
Pwede naman po.
Pag may tubo naman kahit paano, ibibigay pa rin po. Mag-ingat lang po sa pamimili na kasi hindi natin maiwasan na maraming mandurukot sa kanyang panahon.
Pakingatan po ang ating mga gamit, wallet, bag at cellphone. Hawakan din po mabuti ang mga paslit na ating kasama at ugali pa rin po ang pagsuot sa isa.
Meanwhile, police assistance desks and roving personnel are present to ensure security.
Huwag magdala ng sobrang pera, huwag magsuot ng mga mamahaling jewelries, maging alerto, maging maingat sa mga bag nila, sa mga gamit para hindi maging biktima ng mga masamang elemento.
Authorities said daily foot traffic at Divisoria is now at 400,000 to 500,000, which is still expected to increase as Christmas approaches. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
The UAAP cheer dance competition is once again back on the floor. Fans filled the Mall of Asia Arena as pep squads from 8 universities strut their way to the crown. The CDC is also now back to its full glory after the league lifted all COVID-19 pandemic restrictions. So far, majority of the participating teams have finished their performances. Far Eastern University cheering squad, meanwhile, is on a mission to clinch a back-to-back championship. The competition takes center stage at the Mall of Asia Arena. The esports industry is falling on a stony ground as funding sources dwindle. Let's watch this.
Over the past few years, billions have been invested in an industry that promised to rival pro sports leagues. But now, the esports organizations who sought to pave this future face a tough reckoning. Is the dream of esports already dying? Giants of the space, Team Solomid and 100 Thieves, have terminated dozens of positions between them. Others who own teams in supposedly lucrative leagues have sold to third parties. The consultancy firm Deloitte expects only about a third of European esports teams to turn a profit this year. Money seems to be much harder to come by. The problem is that esports teams are dependent on advertising. They had hoped to fill stadiums with screaming fans and secure lucrative broadcast deals, but those have largely failed to materialize lately. About 60% of their revenue still comes from advertising and sponsorships. And when the global economy slows, ad budgets are usually the first to be cut. What's more, many of the advertisers were crypto companies who've been having their own tough time. FTX, the bankrupt crypto exchange, had pledged $210 million for Team Solomid to change its name to TSM FTX. The deal is now on hold. Finally, venture capitalist interest has cooled. Back in 2018, they invested about 3 times more in esports than this year and are less willing to cover losses. Much of the hype previously dedicated to esports is moving over to gaming influencers who live stream themselves on Twitch and YouTube. The cash crunch has left a slew of teams fighting to ensure it's not game over.
Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. We are One News.